moving on to mission. Mission is what you love doing and what the world needs. Now, someone asked me when I was once conducting an interview for Breck, they said, why do you have such a good understanding of what are the basic needs around the globe? And I said to them, basically, whenever I travel, I ask the people on the grassroots level, what is it that they need? What is it that they require? And what challenges are they having? And what happened one fine day was I found this diagram, which basically maps on pretty much what people were mentioning. And so this is a diagram from World Economic Forum, but essentially the key challenges are rising greenhouse gas emissions, unsustainable population growth, chronic fiscal imbalance, and critical systems failure. Now, the bigger the mission you have, the more motivation you will also generate. It's what's known as a multi-tier application, which I will come on to soon. But engineers have been largely responsible for the rising greenhouse gas emissions, and so they should be the ones focusing on amending that. The critical systems failure, unsustainable population growth, this is something that can be solved through education. And chronic fiscal imbalance, well, the economists have messed that up, and it's their job to fix it. And other people can focus on various aspects where they feel they can contribute to. There are other challenges, it's not limited to that. So, for example, Academy of Champions, did a bit of research and we found out that Alzheimer's, 44 million people worldwide have Alzheimer's, 1 in 8 have breast cancer, 422 million people worldwide, more than 5% of the population are diabetic, 350 million people worldwide, 5% of the global population are depressed, 600 million people worldwide are obese, approximately 10% of the global population are obese, 1.9 billion people worldwide are overweight, 30% of the globe is overweight. So 40% of the globe is either obese or overweight, whilst that much percentage doesn't even have food. So we're completely out of balance. 1.4 deaths are linked to lung cancer. Cholesterol, 1 in 4 deaths are linked to heart-related disease, high cholesterol. The unemployment, 202 million people worldwide, just under 5% are unemployed. Parkinson's is 10 million people. Prostate cancer is 1 in 7. Domestic violence is increasing. Divorce rates are increasing. Single mothers are increasing. Theft, robberies are increasing. Prostitution, trafficking, homelessness, these are all increasing. And so there are plenty of challenges. In the age that we live in, there are so many challenges. The question is, which one are you going to choose? Not only that, T. Harv Eker mentions, do you know what the fastest way to become a millionaire is? Serve 1 million people. Help 1 million people. So those of us that get despondent when our projects aren't working, we need to question our why. We need to question our mission. We need to question, how are we going about serving 1 million people minimum if you want to become a millionaire? And Rumi said something amazing. He said, yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I'm changing myself. So in the Quran it's also written, Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim, that indeed, verily, Allah does not change the state of a nation until they change what is within themselves. And so it all begins with yourself. It all begins at an individual level. From individual it goes to domestic. From domestic it goes to social communal. Then from that it goes to national level, and then from that it goes to global. But here's the thing, you need to define, this is called multi-tier application. You need to define, why are you doing this for yourself? Okay, what is your purpose? And then you need to define that throughout. How does that impact throughout the spectrum? For example, for me, it's freedom. At domestic level, having flexible time for family. Social communal level is to create jobs. At a national level, it is energy security. At a global level, it's to tackle climate change. So because there is a strong why throughout the spectrum, because that way you won't lose motivation. Because what will happen sometimes is that you will become selfish at times, you'll become selfless at times, and you'll become foolish at times. But when you have a strong why throughout the spectrum, it will keep you in balance. Sometimes you'll think about yourself, that you're doing it for yourself, but then other times you think that there's a bigger purpose, and that motivation will keep on adding up and it'll keep on going. You will not give up. So sometimes you might think, okay, I'm not getting the rewards that I want at a personal level, and you might want to give up. Other times you might be thinking, okay, this isn't having the global impact that I wanted to, and you might give up. You might want to give up, but when you realize that there's something in it across the spectrum, it will motivate you not to give up. And so that is the concept of multi-tier application. This is something that I strongly recommend you all do. Give what you did not get or others did not get as easily. Now, this is very important. Some of you, and again, we are very ungrateful. Some of you have gone to great institutions such as now in Pakistan, Lahore LUMS. Okay, not many people have been fortunate enough and had the ability to go there. Or you might have gone to some university abroad, or whatever the case may be. The thing is, if you look at that, and if you compare a student that went to LUMS, look at the population of Pakistan, 200 million, you're a tiny fraction of the overall ocean. There must have been a reason why you went to LUMS when the rest did not go. There must have been a reason why you got what you got when the rest did not get what you got. And so whatever you got, and maybe you were born into a family of medics or maybe engineers, there's something that you got that others could not have obtained easily. So give what you did not get. So maybe you were raised in a family that weren't that fortunate, okay? Then they became wealthy. Okay, so give back what you did not get. So teach other people skills or whatever you have that basically you did not get, you had to learn. So it's your way of giving back. And those that have done business, this concept is of Kaizen, continuous improvement. So continuously improving yourself, your family, your society. And this is what I mentioned earlier on as well in the previous segment, in the introduction, that life is about continuous improvement. The universe favors those that are continuously growing with time. Because only two things are happening. Either you're dying with time or you're growing with time. Now, your quest is your passion, dreams plus your goals. The most amazing model that I came across at my time in Manchester, that was taught by an amazing person called Deanne Johnson, was the Simon Sinek model. So in the Simon Sinek model, essentially you've got 3 layers, 3 key questions. So what is the most superficial layer? Okay, when you go into more depth, you ask how. And if you want more depth, you ask why. Why is the deepest question. Now, how does this work? When you first get to meet someone, you may ask them, what is it that you do? Okay? Rarely do you ask someone on the first meeting, why do you do what you do? You ask them, what do you do? After you get to know them a bit, then you would ask them, how do you do what you do? And after you get to know them a bit more, very personally, you ask them, why do you do what you do? So why is the deepest question. When your whys become clear, the hows become easy. And this is the thing, sometimes when we're on our entrepreneurship journey, we stagnate, we hit some blockages, right? we hit some obstacles, we come across some obstacles. And that is because we need to question our whys. When our whys become clear, our hows will become easy. And so the next exercise is exactly this. Next exercise, what I want you to do is pause and keep asking for 3 minutes why you do what you do. So as an example, we're just going to do one now. So we've got one member in front of us here who I'm going to do this with, Hafi. So Hafi, I'm just going to start off by, what is it that you do?
I run a subscription box startup called Box a Joy.
Why?
Because I think that people here they spend their lives taking care of other people, and they don't spend time with themselves. So it is just a startup in which we give them a monthly gift, something, a surprise gift. They don't know what will they receive in the next month, and just to it will just give them a moment of joy to spend time with themselves. Because in order to take care of others, you first need to be able to take care of themselves. You cannot love others until or unless you love yourself first.
So now that we've done the why exercise, see, the why is like an arrow, it digs very deep. The more clarity you have, the quicker you'll be able to answer deeply enough the why you're actually doing things. So that was an amazing example.